But there's a whole model here. I'm going to share you one little gem. I thought I was going to just cover TPA again, but I'm not. I'm going to go a little deeper. I'm going to give you a little nice little juice. I'm going to give you a little bonus of how to get shit done. Yeah, I said it, get shit done. GSD workshops. Here's a cool little process to where if you're committing to working on it 1 hour a week, you're getting your team focused on your single biggest impact area. Maybe it's how to get more new clients. Maybe it's you're following my materials on how to recruit top producing sales superstars. Kudos for you if you got my toolkit. That's a smart thing to do. Or maybe you're targeting those more ideal, better buyers, those that need and can afford a lot of what you have to sell. That toolkit's outstanding as well. Whatever it may be. Let's say you got a problem on managing your time, whatever. You put that right up on your board. Some of you are tackling problems. Some of you are saying, I want an outcome. I want to hit 22 million by 2022. Well, then put that as an outcome. Or maybe it's the number of new contracts you want or whatever that may be. Very rarely, but occasionally I meet extremely well-adjusted entrepreneurs that you're not even operating reactively. You're not even operating based on outcomes. You're operating out of intentions. I won't spend a lot of time because, frankly, I think I could send you an Oprah YouTube video that better address operating companies from intention than outcomes. Seriously, you could just reply or text me back. I'll send you that link. It's pretty cool. I can't believe I just quoted freaking Oprah, but hey, she's a powerhouse. She's a billionaire with a B for a reason. So step number one is you document it. And so everyone gets a chance to go. You know, they put a topic on the board and each person says, all right, come up with 3 solutions how to solve this. So everyone takes time and identifies what these 3 solutions are, and you start putting them up on the board. Now, whoever runs the Get Shit Done workshop, it's your job to use the power of a pause. When someone says something really stinking stupid, don't go, that is the stupidest freaking idea I've ever heard. That will crush and kill innovative spirits. You don't want to crush the creativity in someone's heart. You want to support them. So take a breath. That's all you got to do. One nice big deep breath. Say, thank you, document it, and move on. Don't worry. Everyone else knows it was a bad idea. It won't get voted in. You'll see how you flesh this idea out anyhow. So consciously respond to people's thoughts and ideas. So you're on step 2. Step 3 is to document all of those ideas. This is where you get to ask specifics like, well, what does that look like? How would you do that? Who would be involved? What resources would you need? When would you like to make that happen? By when? The moderator is going to manage the pace of this to keep this clip going nice and fast, where you're getting all this creative juice flowing. Step number 1, topic on the board. Step 2, think up 3 solutions, document them, get clarity is power here, and you move right into step 4. You got to prioritize these ideas. You choose the top ideas. You want your team members voting on which ones deserve the priorities. I want to be clear. Just because I told you have your team vote doesn't mean I'm saying run your company by a freaking committee. That's not how you run a company. But I'm letting you know that they would have to be a hypocrite to implement ideas if they were the ones that were a part of the process to create these ideas to begin with. So let their voices be heard. Let them share in this innovation session, if you will, and you let them rank it. One way I learned how to do this from Chet Holmes, when he taught me to do these workshops, paid 40 grand to learn this process, was stupid simple. It's like we had these 8.5 by 11 notepads. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's ever done it. Or if you're doing it on a whiteboard and a little stick 'em note, and all you do is do a hash. So your single greatest idea, you put 3 hashes marks down next to it. Your second best idea, you put 2 hash marks. And your third idea, you only get to vote 3 times. Your third idea gets a single hash. So that way your best idea has greater weight and your weakest idea has the least amount of weight. Anything below 3 doesn't even get a vote. The key, little random distinction here, I know I'm going fast, but it's recorded, so hopefully you can go back and listen to this again, is have them dictate their first best idea, second, and the third in advance, having it documented before it's vocalized. Because what will happen is people act like sheep, and they will follow a leader. Soon as someone in the company has a big voice or maybe carries a certain amount of clout, vote something in, everyone will fall like dominoes subconsciously, if not consciously, and start voting in the way of their friend's proposed idea. Have them put it in writing in advance, throw it up on the board, let everyone see, pretty much everyone's in agreement. This is your best idea. guess what? The idea they're going to vote on, I guarantee you within like 95% accuracy, it was your idea you wanted to work on anyhow. It was probably the same strategy, same tactics you'd apply. Maybe not. Maybe they came up with creative ideas better than you would ever thought of. But the key is suddenly your whole team is feeling empowered to come up with creative ideas to help solve problems that could have been problematic in your organization since the beginning of the whole company. Could have been following you around for decades. Now they'd have to be a hypocrite not to implement the idea, which goes right into step 5, plan a course of implementation. You do the same thing you did in step 3 and 4. It's the same thing. People come with 3 ideas on how to implement it. You turn around, you prioritize what they are, you vote them, you turn around and you say, okay, now it's time to get shit done. Let's get into action. You share the 3 objectives. Maybe it's a challenge and outcome, or maybe if you had intentions, that's great. You identify what the plan is, who's responsible for taking action, and when will that be accomplished by. You've got a nice little workshop where your team got together. When's the last time you did this as a team to tackle big, hairy initiatives? Maybe it's how to crack those dream clients, those ideal clients that can need and can afford a lot of what we have to sell. Maybe it's just how you better communicate, how you better document processes in your company, whatever it is you may be working on. The TPA process of doing this weekly and then throwing in these massive get shit done workshops, maybe you do them once a month, could profoundly improve your company. Profoundly improve your company. I've yet to even talk about stand-ups. I'm just saying doing a daily TPA or weekly, minimally, a weekly TPA and a monthly get shit done workshop, your life changes. Because here's what it looks like. TPA, think, plan, act. You have that weekly session. On the very next meeting, I'll state the fact that you cannot manage something you cannot measure. You cannot manage something you cannot measure. So therefore, I want you to start each one of those sessions, each one of those TPA sessions, where you left off last week. Meaning, you want to make sure this isn't hype sessions where you just get together to say the same, I was going to use choice words here, the same freaking stuff that you said last week. Stop that hype. You're breaking rapport with your staff. They don't trust you as a leader because all you do is let people puke ideas over and over and over again, and they're usually not that original. Start where you left off. Who is going to get what done by when? And I will tell you this, people will respect what you inspect. You absolutely bring truth to the table. Who's done what by when? Did we overload someone? Or did we ask them to get the impossible done in too short of a period of time? Did we not support them enough? Did they need greater resources? Whatever it may be, it's allowing us to honor the victories, celebrate minor successes along the way. It allows us to reward the performance we want to see and transparently talk about the things that aren't happening so we can just start weeding out the weak and really quickly recognize how we're going to thin the herd of thinning the hurt by getting rid of your weak staff out faster, because now every single week everyone's looking at transparent KPIs, knowing who's not pulling their weight. Because what you're looking for is efficient and effective. Just imagine right now what's going to be tackled that it can be completely avoided. That could be completely avoided by having TPAs weekly and monthly get shit done workshops. What future pain will you never have to experience by having these processes in place? How much sooner will you have a sense of accomplishment felt by you and your team, let alone feeling rewarded? What other benefits could exist from this kind of improvement? Because as a little reminder here, when you're looking at this, people deserve meetings, objectives get workshopped. And to cite, let's see here, David Allen, Getting Things Done. If you don't give enough attention to what deserves your attention, it'll ultimately take more attention than it deserves. So when I'm talking about making sure you're effective and efficient, don't move to efficiency versus effectiveness by trying to workshop a human being. That's where you need that one-on-one time with your direct report without those soft issues. Things like citing Stephen Covey from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. With people, slow is fast. Or I'll cite his boy, Stephen M.R. Covey, brilliant man with the speed of trust. Take them through these processes. Give the humans the time that they need, but give the outcomes that you desire the TPA process that it deserves. Stop pretending you're an 800-pound gorilla company running around trying to militantly reinforce a policy, exuding all this effort outwards, trying to get someone to be held accountable to a policy that might even be outdated because things had advanced so much, versus have everyone commit from wherever they're at today, do nothing but constantly commit to incremental improvement along the way. Your company will grow so much quicker, faster, and easier if you do this, because you're going to move from running your company to guiding your company with TPA. And what if you take every single impact area in your company, marketing, selling, maybe customer experience, maybe building raving fans, maybe it's your operations, maybe it's fulfillment, whatever it may be, put a TPA around each major impact area. What if you did, you tapped into Power Over Mastermind from Get Shit Done workshops every single time you need a major innovation, improvement, or feedback from the team on how to solve that a little quicker, faster, and easier. See, you're going to no longer have meetings, but rather you're going to be reaching outcomes. Because everyone freaking hates a meeting anyhow. Most of your meetings suck. Stop having meetings. Start having TPAs with constant incremental improvement, and stop those got-a-minute meetings that are crushing you, sucking you dry. That's a whole nother training unto itself. I've got a mini course on that that's dirt cheap. It's like $7 or something stupid. Go get my mini course. It'll solve your got-a-minute meeting issues that you have. But TPA turned a company completely around. I just got an email last week from Ron D. Haas. I got to tell you about it. See, when I met Ron D. Haas's company, Covenant Eyes, was stuck at about $4.7 million in revenue. And now he tells me it was about the 0% profits when we met. Now, he'd been working 70-hour work weeks, making slow progress. And when we first introduced him to TPA, he broke down each major impact area in his company. He found 13 impact areas in his company to where he gave each one of those areas on average 1 hour a week. And some of those were 30-minute sessions. Get Shit Done workshops were included as well. So when he had reoccurring weekly meetings, that when he did the workshop, he didn't add a workshop. He just replaced that weekly meeting. So weekly meeting, 3 weekly meetings. The fourth meeting was a workshop. And then weekly meeting, that kind of thing. Like the first Thursday of each month, he did the workshop, the Get Shit Done workshop. Anyhow, it seemed at first totally batshit crazy for him to have 13 meetings. That ate up his first 3 days of his business. But after a few weeks, he made more progress than he had made in months. But let's just let the shoe drop right now. Let me tell you the outcome of what's happened. Because of TPA, he had 5 years on the Inc. 5000 list. He went from $5 million that he did by, we met May 2010. So that first year together was at $5 million. He just sent me an email. He's at $23 million. And he wanted to only grow his company to $10 million. He wanted to sell it for $10 million. In fact, he was offered $15 million. That's $5 million more, 50% higher than what he even wanted. And when they were doing $12 million of revenue, that's when he got that offer. And he sent me an email saying, Ted, I got an offer that's too good to be true. But in the ninth hour, he changed his mind. He said, no, it's not the money that I want. Now what I want to do, and he changed his vision and his mission, his BHAG, his big, hairy, audacious goal. He wanted to change the perception North America has around pornography. If you're not familiar with Covenant Eyes, it helps children and adults surf the internet with integrity. Basically, these phones that all these little children have, it's access to porn. So watch it. Average age of child that's seen pornography is a single digit now. It's sick. So he had 5 years in Inc. 5000. His email said $23 million, and they're looking to have 10% profit for the year, but 15% profit year to date so far. And, oh, by the way, he started a charter school on the side, a whole nother business. He's got over 100 students in on that. So I think that was great. You know, he sent this nice little testimonial. It says, we have no remnant skin in the game. This is a real testimonial. When we started working with Ted in May 2010, we had close to $5 million of revenue and close to a 0% profit margin. I could see that we needed a major business change. And And the thing I deleted out there was he was like, at that time, I don't think we could afford it. What he meant was he spent $250 with me and we had 2.5 hours together and he loved it. Then he spent $4,000 to have a program with coaches work with him and improve it. But then when we asked him to make a sizable commitment on a monthly basis, I can't remember, 36,000 or 26,000 is one of those two. He thought to himself, there's no way in hell he can afford it. It was 36,000. But he decided to do that. And they moved forward. They found a way to make it work. Now, jump forward, 23 million, 50% profits. We still quote Ted every day around here without exaggeration. One of my favorites is that I'm going to tell you what you need to do, and a year from now, you're going to be preaching it. A year from now, you're going to be preaching it for only one reason. You're going to believe it was your own idea. I'm going to tell you what you need to do comes from the fact that you passively aggressively get them to tell you what you were going to say anyhow. And then you empower them like you wouldn't believe with weekly TPAs and get shit done workshops. It's a map. It's a game plan that all small business owners need to build momentum in their company. Because don't let a guru and don't buy a book and don't go from some guy who's ran a huge billion-dollar corporation talking about reinforcing policies, thinking that's how your company needs to run. You're at a different life cycle to justify you exerting all of those expenses. And frankly, some of those that are institutionalized doing nothing but reinforcing their old policies, well, they're the part of the majority of the original Inc. 500 that's no longer even in business because they died off and they lacked innovation. So get honest with yourself. How proactive are you? How much TPA do you have in your life? How much get shit done workshops are you having to really get your team involved? And by the way, your team, if you're an Army One, you got a mastermind. Maybe you got a wife. Maybe you got a VA. Maybe you got somebody, anybody, maybe in your mastermind group that can support you. But you're never alone. There's always infinite intelligence, just a phone call away through a mastermind. So there's lots of ways we could help even further. I got free tools like this. I've got little toolkits that are stupid. I can't believe the stuff I'm selling for like $9. But this year I just committed. I wanted to give the greatest Intellex property we've had that's profoundly impacted companies, and we're selling it like $9. I figured if I don't have it in a book yet, because that's my intention is put it in the heart of selling and get it into a book, I'm just going to get it into your hands sooner through little online courses so I can burn off a video like this and give you the tools like how to recruit top producing sales superstars. I'm getting testimonials like crazy for people that spent $9 to rewrite their ad, and they're attracting so much better talent they never even thought they could recruit. They're getting now. Or just get a hold of me. Let's get on the phone. You've got that email from me. My commitment, I still stand behind it. Let's get back into a conversation. If you're one of my 25,000 clients from the past, or maybe we just spoke years ago and we haven't touched base in a long time, and you want to get on the phone, find a distinction to grow your company a little quicker, faster, and easier, let's make that happen. If you're ready to hit the ground running, maybe you just want to test the waters a little bit, I got the ultimate business breakthrough experience, 2.5 hours, $250. It's the cheapest thing you could ever do. They have the most profound impact in a short period of time. People always say, wow, it's worth millions. Or I could transform my profitability. I could double, triple. Someone today said, not just double, triple, quadruple their business. And we uncovered that in 2.5 hours. There's a lot of ways we can help even further. Don't let the 36 grand a month storyline scare you away. I mean, the largest fee ever received in a single year, well, that was not for me alone. That was when I was in partnership with Chad Holmes and Tony Robbins. Back then, the company is called Business Breakthroughs International. Gino, I tip my hat to him. He was working that account like a beast, and we generated $1 million in a 12-month period of time from a single client. That is one end. The other end of the spectrum is $9. I'm sure somewhere in the middle, we can find a way to help you. Minimally, take me up on my free offer to get on the phone. 15 minutes, I'll find a breakthrough. So let's talk soon. I hope this TPA served you. I hope Get Shit Done Workshop served you. Download the document wherever this video is going to be. I'll have the downloadable document for the steps for you to have to go implement your Get Shit Done workshops. So I look forward to talking to you soon. Blessings to you all. Take care. Adios. Bye-bye.